Hey guys, it's David Wunderlich from GatorCountry.com, back with some more film study from the Gators' win over Tennessee. Now, the Gators really weren't able to run the ball in this game, and we'll take a look at a couple of plays as to why that was the case. However, Tennessee's strategy to really swarm the run opened up some other things where the Gators used misdirection, and we'll take a look at that too. Finally, Tennessee played a lot of zone coverage, and with the particular coverage they were using, Florida really attacked it with a lot of high-low out route combinations, and we'll take a look at that as well. Over on the defensive side, Florida used a lot more blitzing than normal, I think because Tennessee's quarterbacks really aren't that good, and so they didn't feel like they were going to get burned by it. So we'll take a look at a couple of blitzes. The first one, I really wasn't that much of a fan of. The second one, I was. So here, let's dive in. Florida had a hard time running in this game, and here are a couple of back-to-back runs from Florida's second drive late in the first quarter that show you two of the things that Tennessee was doing. So one thing that they were doing is having their linebackers, it's going to be this one right here, trying to time the snap. And I don't know what exactly was going on, but they did a good job of that. Because if you watch this, he's coming forward at full steam when the ball is snapped. He blows up Zipperer, and there's going to be nowhere for Malik Davis to run. So this is a counter play. They like to pull the guard, pull the tight end. Davis will fake going that way and come around. This is something Dan Mullen's been running since basically forever. And it's going to go nowhere because the linebacker blows up Zipper in the backfield, stalling Davis, and then Tennessee's just going to get the stop. So here it is in full speed. And there it goes. Nowhere to go. And Tennessee gets the stop. Now, if we move ahead of play, here is something else they did, which this honestly reminds me a bit of what Arkansas did, which is they have their linebackers delay a little bit before swarming. And Arkansas did that because they were running tons of defensive backs. This is just something Tennessee did with their linebackers. So if we watch on this play at 2nd and 12, Florida's going to run again. I don't know why. That doesn't make sense a whole lot, but here we go again, and this time, Tennessee is hanging back. This guy hangs back a little bit, the corner over here hangs back a little bit, but as soon as the only receiver on the side runs past him, he's going to come up and run support. And so Tennessee is going to get a swarming effect over to the right side. Richard Courage is pulling around. Typically, you would want him to come up and block a linebacker, except this time the corner's coming off the edge, so he's going to have to pick up the corner, and that means there's going to be nobody over there to block the linebacker, and the linebacker gets hit on Davis, and we have 3 Tennessee players swarming the ball carrier at the line of scrimmage. So here's in real time, and you'll see it just looks like Tennessee is swarming, and that is what they're trying to do here. So watch it in full speed, and poor Davis has just nowhere to go. Now here is a play from earlier in the same drive that shows you how Dan Mullen was trying to, at times, take advantage of Tennessee's swarming the run against him. So this is tight bunch over here. You've got another receiver tight over here. So it's 3rd and 2. That suggests this could be a run play. It is not a run play. It is going to be play action with the back going that way, and Kyle Trask will roll out to his right. So if we watch this go forward a little bit, there is the play fake, and he's going to the left of the offense. He's going to the offense's left. He's going to the offense's left. They completely bit on this play fake. Florida is also pulling Stuart Reese, the right guard, around to the left. That also sells the play fake. So Florida is putting 2 guys in the direction to the left, selling that run, and half of Tennessee's defense, it feels like, is falling for it. So now that Kyle Trask is getting to roll out to his right, his momentum's going this way, his momentum is going this way, and Xavier Henderson, his momentum is going that way because he's going on a crossing route. And so Kyle Trask now can just calmly hit a wide open Henderson because, you know, the linebacker wasn't able to recover in time because his momentum was going the wrong way. So this is how you use some misdirection to punish a defense that is really trying to swarm on the run. So if you watch here in real time, Tennessee is just, you know, going all out on the run on 3rd and 2, and Florida is punishing it with a crossing route going the other direction. So there's a play fake, everybody's drawn in, and there goes Henderson, wide open space, easy first down.
Something else Tennessee was doing a lot was playing a lot of zone coverage, and they dropped safeties way back. They were trying to stop big plays, and for the most part, they succeeded. If you read my advanced stats review of this game, you would know that this game was Florida's lowest explosive rate on passing plays by far this season. No one else came close. Georgia was the only other team to really stop that. So one thing Florida was doing to combat the zone coverage was doing high-low out route patterns. So this one is going to be to Jacob Copeland. He's going to come out and do an intermediate out, and Damian Pierce is going to be our lower route. So we're doing a high-low combination here, and Florida is going to hit Copeland in the intermediate range. So if we watch this, the safety bailed way back deep. We've got the defensive back also bailing way back deep, trying to keep Copeland in front of him. And this guy's got to come up over here from the linebacking spot to take care of the running back. And so Kyle Trask is able to hit Copeland pretty easy. And the tell for Trask, if this is going to be open, here's the defensive back. His back is to the sideline. That means he's going to have to turn himself around in order to cover Copeland going that way, and he's not going to be able to do it. So just watch it in real time here. Pretty easy pitch and catch. We're just doing a little high-low outs, and there's a pocket in the middle of the zone. This was not a foolproof plan. Here, Florida's going to try it again. This time they're going to use Kyle Pitts as your high, and Kadarius Toney coming out of the backfield as your low. Now, Tennessee has a defensive back right here, Bryce Thompson, number 0. He is up on the edge of the line, but he is going to make a really heady play because his responsibility is going to be getting Toney on the low, but he's going to watch Kyle Trask. He's going to see that Trask is focusing in on Pitts, and so he'll actually bail on Toney pretty quickly as this play goes forward here. You see him, he's got Toney, but he's keeping his eyes on the quarterback. And there he goes, he bails. And so now that Trask is trying to force a throw in here, it's really high. This might be just him throwing it away because there was some pressure. But you can see there are 3 Tennessee players here. So in this particular case, Tennessee was ready for that high-low outside combination. They didn't do the same defense every play. They mixed things up quite a bit, and that's one of the reasons why, despite all of the yardage, this was actually one of Kyle Trask's least successful games of the year. It's his lowest yards per attempt, tied for his lowest completion percentage. Still really great, but by his own standards, this was not as good of a game. And so you can see Thompson there. He's got Toney, but he is also going to bail for Pitts, and Trask does it in a triple coverage high. But even though it didn't work every single time, it did work continually through the game. So here's a few drives later. They're going to do it again with Jacob Copeland as your high and Malik Davis coming out of the backfield as the low. Now there is a safety who's going to drop super way back. This is 3rd and 11, so I guess they're worried about a real deep shot here. So the guy on the edge is going to have the low on Davis. This linebacker right here is going to have the intermediate zone, and then there's that safety who's got the deep zone. And if you like the idea of a wide receiver like Jacob Copeland trying to do an out route on a linebacker, then you have the same idea as Kyle Trask on this play. Because, I mean, this is pretty easy. The linebacker, he doesn't know how deep he needs to be because he's watching the quarterback initially, and here is Jacob Copeland, plenty of space around him for a fairly easy catch. And there comes the safety from, who knows where, up in Kentucky someplace. He's coming very late to try to clean up the play. So if we watch this in real time, you can see the linebacker's just drifting around. He's not really aware of where Copeland's going. And we get another nice big gain on one of those high-low out routes. So now I want to highlight a couple of blitzes. One I did not like very much. The other one I did like very much. So let's take a look at this first one. This one I was not a fan of. It is 3rd and 4, and that is important. So Florida is going to be showing pressure here. You've got a stand-up linebacker here, Amari Burney in the middle. You also have Ventrell Miller in the middle, and this is Donovan Steiner walking up to show blitz from over there. So Florida is saying, hey, look, we might have a whole bunch of guys coming from every direction. And as we get closer to the snap, you see they get closer. And so Florida is definitely attacking here, and they're going to bring guys heavy onto the right side of the defense. Now, if we look at, right side of the offense. If we look to the left side of the offense, let's take a look out here. We've got 2 wide receivers against only 1 Florida cornerback right here, Jaden Hill. You also have Brad Stewart is a safety right here, but as soon as the snap hits, he's going to bail deep in single high coverage. So that means Jaden Hill is over here, and he's stuck on his own. Or is he? Florida could send a linebacker out. This is Mohamed Diabate. Maybe he might drop into coverage. You don't know, but that is not actually what happens. As we watch this play go forward, we get this throw out here, as you might expect, because it looks like a 2-on-1. And here is Ventrell Miller. He is starting to make a beeline out here. So as it turns out, it appears that the 2 Gators to go after these 2 volunteers are Jaden Hill, which makes sense, and then Ventrell Miller coming from all the way in the middle of the formation. Florida is basically asking Tennessee to make this throw, and if you can get a throw behind the line of scrimmage on 3rd down, in a lot of cases that may be good. And this is Brian Maurer, the quarterback. He is in for only 1 play for some reason. Tennessee was kind of weird about this stuff, but he does make that throw that Florida is begging him to get, because otherwise he's going to get lit up from the right side. So I think this is the throw Florida wanted to see happen, but Miller is kind of late coming over. He's going to over-pursue a little bit, kind of whiff on the tackle, and then Stewart and Hill are the ones who are going to make sure the guy goes down. I guess Miller did get a piece of him. Now, I might like this play better if there were a couple of things different. If it was Mohamed Diabate coming from the middle of the field. We've seen him in recent games just flying past Ventrell Miller. Miller is not slow, but Diabate is very, very fast. So if it was Diabate coming from the middle to the outside, I would like this better. Also, if it was 3rd and long, say 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, I would like this better, because if you can force a throw 2 or 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage on 3rd and long, that means your receiver is going to have to run like 15 yards to get that 1st down. So sure, having the linebacker come all the way from the middle to try to make this play, that could work too. It also could work if Tennessee's receivers were bad blockers, because Jaden Hill might be able to get off his block and get at the receiver. But Tennessee's receivers are actually good blockers. They're better than Florida's receivers, I think, based on what I saw in this game. Not last year's receivers, but this year's. And so Jaden Hill's not able to get off that block, and Tennessee picks up 8 yards and a 1st down. I don't think I'd want to see this at all against a team with NFL-type receivers like what Alabama has, because if the guy catching the ball is Devontae Smith, he makes Ventrell Miller miss, and instead of getting clipped, he probably doesn't get touched at all, and he's off down the field for a touchdown. So there are certain situations where I think this could work. If it was 3rd and 10, and everything works out exactly the same way, Tennessee gets 8 yards, and we say, wasn't that clever? They baited that throw to the outside, they got the throw they wanted, and they got the stop. But instead, it's 3rd and 4, so I don't think this was the appropriate situation to pull out this particular blitz.
This blitz is from later on in the same drive. It is 3rd and 10, and I really like what Florida did with this one here. So this one I think is much better. So Florida, again, has Miller showing blitz from the middle, and they've got 4 guys here plus a stand-up, so 5. So we got 6 Gator players here, and we're looking at 5 offensive linemen and a running back to block. So we've got 6 Gators and 6 blockers. So let's see how we can get at the quarterback. To start out with, Tennessee had a true freshman playing center. He was a late in the week substitution because of COVID issues. So he is the one Florida wants to attack here. He is inexperienced because he's a true freshman. He hasn't played with these other guys because he hasn't been a starter. So let's see if we can confuse him, get him to do the wrong thing, and get somebody free. So Florida is showing 2 guys over here, and Miller makes 3. So Tennessee could have these 3 guys block them. And that would leave 3 Gators over here and 3 volunteers. So at first it seems like, okay, maybe we got a shot. But here's what's going to happen. Marlon Dunlap is lined up directly over the center, and he is going to go to the center's right side. So he is putting pressure on the right side of the center. Ventrell Miller is going to be coming up, and he is actually going to go to the center's left side. So the center can't block two guys at once. That's really hard to do in any situation, and certainly a true freshman in his first game is not going to do it. And so what does he need to do? Well, the center needs to be aware of what's going on, and he needs to be able to pass Dunlap off to his right guard, okay? Because there are two Gators over here, yes, but that also leaves the right tackle and the running back who's on the right side to do that. So the center needs to be able to pass Dunlap off to the guard and then step over to pick up Miller. But that is not what he does as we watch this. Instead, he lunges after Dunlap right here. You can see he is bent at the waist, and that is not something that offensive linemen are supposed to do. You don't want to bend at the waist. So he has taken himself out of the play by lunging at Dunlap, which means Miller is now free to attack this gap. And as we can see here, the left guard is stepping over to block Miller because the left guard doesn't want the middle linebacker getting a free shot right up Broadway, which means, remember, we had two guys over here. We've got Amari Burney to the outside, Chris Bogle to the inside, and there is only the left tackle to take care of them. And the left tackle, just like the center, can't block two guys at once. He ends up sliding out to get the edge with Burney, which means Chris Bogle is the one getting a free shot. And he wraps up for the sack. So this, I think, was a really well-designed blitz. It's 3rd and 10, so this is a good time to do it. Harrison Bailey has shown that he's not particularly accurate throwing down the field, so you feel good about one-on-one matchups out here, right? We got one-on-ones, we're good. We've got two deep safeties, feeling good about this. And so let's see if we can put pressure on that freshman center, and Florida does. So watch it here in slow motion. Bogle gets free, and he gets right in. So I love this blitz. This one, it was very well designed to attack that freshman, and the situation, I think, much more appropriate. So 2 thumbs up for this one. So there you have it. Florida was able to run up a 31-7 lead before the game got to garbage time, and they let Tennessee run out the clock with their offense on a couple of long scoring drives. Make no mistake, this was not a 12-point win. This was a much more dominant win than that. And you saw that with the way that the offense was able to counterpunch against what the Tennessee defense was doing, and also with the Florida defense doing more good blitzes than bad ones. So if you liked what you saw in this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.